And like you said, it is going to be a little bit different this year because we are going to bring all of our staff into this. So Courtney is our front desk. What name did we give you this morning?
Patient care coordinator.
Patient care coordinator, that's right. Yeah. So she does front desk, and so she's going to go through the flow of a new patient, how you greet them, tours of the office, all the little things that go on behind that desk. And then Emily, again, is going to be doing stuff back here with your exercise therapist, so that way they can see how she does it on a day-to-day basis. Since she does know everything like the back of her hand, and it is so fluid for her, and it's just get in there and get it done. People can see that flow and how she does it. Paul will also be here, unfortunately. He's not here today, but he will be here. So there's going to be 2 exercise therapists. Courtney is also going to be up front with Caitlin. She's a little bit newer, but she's going to help out up front and maybe be able to speak to some of your newer staff, maybe that were brought on for the purpose of implementing MoveNow into your clinic. So she can go over how she was trained, how she learned, the easiest things for her to kind of catch on to how we do things in the clinic. And then, of course, Dr. Todd, you're going to be with all of the doctors back there. And we do have a couple of speakers coming. Who are those so far?
Well, we are almost to the point where we're solidifying this 100%. They should be out here in person. And worst case scenario, if some of them don't come in person, we have a big, 50-inch screen that we pull down, and we do it digitally. We've done that at some in the past, but I'm meeting with Holly and Dr. Miles Bodson from Chiropractors to solidify them coming out in person. They are awesome to listen to, and literally every time they speak, it gives me some new idea of how to tweak something that we're doing in practice. So I love hearing them talk. We utilize Chiropractors. We utilize a whole lot of their systems. So it's not like we're promoting it just for the sense of promoting it. We promote it because it makes our practice work smoother. It helps our patients. It helps our team. So we absolutely love it. They're going to come out, talk about it, teach a bit, but really just get people motivated to the purpose of why we use things like the care plan calculator and the drip email system and the payment processing and the wellness score and right, I nailed all of them, right?
Yeah.
The four main things that we use on a daily basis with Chiropractors. I'm going to see if we can get Dr. Jeff Kronk from Florida to fly out here. He'll probably come out here. He almost never turns down coming out to Idaho when invited, even though he has to fly across the country. But Dr. Kronk is amazing. If you do any personal injury work, he is the main guy that got us reignited into being excited about doing personal injury. If you're burnt out on personal injury, you're like, oh, I don't want to deal with the insurance companies, the attorneys. He really helps get that passion going again, understanding spinal ligament injuries. On a side note too, a really special thing that we'll have here that we'll be able to show off, just for the sake of maybe doctors just seeing this, but in a room right behind us, we just pulled the trigger on getting a DMX, a digital motion x-ray, installed in the clinic. It's going to be here. We're going to be trained up on it, and that's all going to be in place well before this next impact event. So that's a really cool thing on top of everything else that we have going on in our clinic. And let's see, other speakers.
Perry.
Dr. Perry Barnhill. Perry, I didn't forget about you, Perry. All right, so Dr. Perry Barnhill from Fearless Chiropractor. He is a good friend. He's our compliance guy. He's our go-to when we have an insurance denial, when we get, some kind of sketchy letter in the mail, if we have a question on notes and documentation, which he's worked with us in the past. He's helped us refine some things, even billing-wise. So there's really not a whole lot that we have to ask of him now, but he's there as our security blanket.
Yep.
And he's just an awesome individual. So he drives out here, hangs out with us, does a fun presentation. He's here in person for you to pick his brain. Likely I'll see if I'll get my buddy Dr. Chad Woolner to come out here too. He's actually local, and Dr. Chad Woolner is the guy that actually turned me on to ClickFunnels back in the day. He's the one that motivated me to even start MoveNow University from building a digital platform. So he is the tech guy who just fueled a whole lot of me getting started into the computer end, and I've always been in the video editing end of stuff, but how to organize it on all the new tech. So he has great ideas on marketing and how to use technology for marketing. So I'm sure I can get him to come over here and present as well. So that, what is that? We got Miles and Holly, we got Chad, we got Dr. Kronk, we got Perry. So at least 4 speakers, and probably even maybe remotely digitally we can get another good buddy of mine, Dr. Ed LaCara, who he's the guy that clinically got me interested in functional movement. And so he's out in Texas. I don't think I'm going to ask him to fly out here just because he's joined us remotely and he does stuff in his clinic remotely. And that's been really, really beneficial, doing it through Zoom and then having that where everyone's here in person, and then we can basically go through and act things out and do various tests while he's instructing us. So that worked awesome last time. So that's 5. Yeah, I mean, there could be 5 different, and then it's just a matter of, I mean, fitting this in on top of all the stuff that we're gonna do. So so just mind you, we're planning on going like 22-hour days.
Yep.
Right?
That's a normal day for us, so
like
it's fine.
Get 2 hours of sleep, you'd be good.
Yep, we're good.
Which is kind of what you're working on.
Yeah, that's been,
In my sleeping bag.
yeah, it's
Put a
been my
fire pit out there,
routine
too.
for like the last week or 2. So I mean, it's totally fine.
Yeah, and really though, it is going to be about a 9-hour day each day, and the way we organize it is not trying to teach you everything when you come out here, but it's answering the questions, gaining clarity, giving you the vision of how you're going to do this in your practice, and then being able to point you to all the resources that you need, so that those things you need to dive deeper into that just take some time to absorb, and going through the motions and learning, different functional tests and that sort of thing. That stuff you guys can do on your time. We're going to make sure you have all the tools and resources you need to do that.
Yep.
We're going to use your time as wisely as possible when you're out here, so that, again, your staff can connect with our staff. Doctors, and us are going to connect. Sometimes even doctors want to pick the brain of the staff and go off in those.
Yep.
So yeah, it's gonna be an awesome event. It's been a while since we did one. What was the last one we did?
Last April.
End of March last
March.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been
been a
almost
year.
a year. Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's been so much that has evolved in the last year. So it's kind of nice that we took a little bit of a break so we can get all this stuff in place. And I feel like we have so much more to offer clinics as a whole now, since we've got everything dialed in here, and we've evolved a lot in the last year.
And that's mostly because Danny's worked with a bunch of clinics weekly, where she's going through, working with her team, doing Zoom calls, and so she's really learned so much about how a variety of clinics learn and how they progress through the system, that we're changing the format of this one per Danny's input, and helping complete that and cater to the process that she's got down so well, that is really, that's not my forte. There's stuff that Danny's going to train on and teach that she knows much, much more thoroughly than I do from a manager standpoint. And just the fact that you've worked with all of our team here with training, and then also from a billing standpoint too. I mean, she can answer billing questions for you, but systems, I mean, Danny's really learned all these systems inside and out since you started with us. How long has it been now?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. 2.5 years, but if you haven't heard any of the history of Danny, she's been in chiropractic now, what is it, like 17 years?
18.
18? Okay. I thought I was shooting high. I should have said 19.
I just
Should've said
aged
19.
myself, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. And mind you, again, for the audience, if you're watching this and you're wondering, like more of a history of Danny, there's podcasts that we just did a couple months ago, really going in depth about Danny's background. We did a whole podcast with Courtney and talked about her background in chiropractic, because she's super passionate at the front desk, learning other departments as well. I mean, having someone that has the passion like this for chiropractic is definitely who you want at the front desk.
Yes.
And then Emily over here, who's like the jack of all trades, who's just learned everything there is to do.
Yeah, there's really nothing left in the clinic to learn. I mean, besides being your scribe, but not today.
But her main role, she mans this department, but she can jump into traction and do traction. She can jump at the front desk and help on the front desk. She can verify insurance. She can build a financial through cash practice sometimes.
Sometimes, not all the time. Math is not my strong suit, so I stay away from those.
All right, cool. Thanks for checking out this clip from the MoveNow Chiropractor podcast. Be sure to join our free Facebook group, Functional Movement for Chiropractors. And if you want to see how MoveNow University can help your clinical practice and your systems, be sure to check out our 30-minute pre-recorded demo at demo.movenowU.com. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you on the next one.